All right, it is no secret that both Lina Girl and Davy D are from Waimanalo.
Yep.
And that's why we wanted to start off the show today with lots of aloha to the family of Hopena Pokipala, who died tragically over the weekend.
Loved ones describe Hopena as the embodiment of aloha. Born and raised in Kailua, the 2012 Kamehameha School graduate and longshoreman, was an avid waterman, a model, surfer, and outrigger canoe paddler who recently married former Miss Hawaii, Allison Chu.
And you know, today, together, they ran that business, Oysters Hawaii,
Yep.
which we have had personal experience from the Lebanon parties that we have emceed. And I didn't realize that Allison was, or Ali was one of the
She was one of the
shuckers.
girls,
Yeah.
right? Yep.
So we just want to say again, aloha to the ohana. I know we have people that work here that are, are related to Hopena.
To the Pokipala family.
And the accident is Oahu's 62nd traffic fatality. So again, aloha no to the family. Now, yesterday, President Trump, I know you had the day off, but President Trump made a huge announcement. He said that there are new concerns about Tylenol use during pregnancy and its potential link to autism.
Brother, give us the scoops. What's the scoops?
All right, the president said it is due to the drug's active ingredient, acetaminophen. Tylenol manufacturer Kenvue strongly disagreed with the administration's assessment, stating that acetaminophen is the safest pain reliever option for pregnant women.
It's hard. It's hard to go back and forth on this, right? But I also understand that President Trump had other warnings and advisories for parents too, right?
Yeah, this is definitely shaking things up, and it had to do with vaccines. He advised parents to be cautious about the number of vaccines that their children receive, describing it as "quote unquote" a large pile of stuff. Of course, I know I've seen the graphic before, where it's like back in the 80s or 70s, there were like just a handful of vaccinations given to keiki, and now it's like over 80. So, there are a lot of questions, and I'm not here to debunk any myths or confirm any myths. I don't know.
We're not healthcare professionals, right?
I'm
but we
just
do have ohana, who have little ones, and a lot of these. I mean, you have a baby girl, and at one time, in her schooling, some of these vaccinations are required.
Yeah,
right?
they're mandatory in order for them to attend school. So, but it is. I would think it is, prudent or appropriate to possibly look at the different, the combinations of the different vaccines. Again, we're not political. We're not a political show. I'm just saying, it might be good to kind of check all of that. If there are, what do you say, contraindications or interactions between the two. So, again, this is not going to be a story that goes away quickly.
No, not at all. I think this is gonna rev up people to really start wondering what is in that needle that you're poking inside my baby, right?
Yeah, and yesterday, based on the news, when President Trump made that announcement, Tylenol stocks took a nosedive.
Right.
I mean, obviously that would be the initial reaction. Today, it kind of climbed out of that pit.
Climb.
So, people are starting to calm down after yesterday's announcement, and there's more people doing research, which is good. Getting more information is always good for all of us. Now, the FDA plans to warn doctors to limit its use unless medically necessary.
It's crazy, but at the same time, very important for us to talk about, right?
Absolutely.
And sometimes when you go to, you got to do all kind of fun stuff with the baby to make the baby happy before you give them the little poke, right? And then sometimes children are just unruly. But let's talk about unruly.
Okay.
Unruly passengers trapped in an SUV, okay?
Okay.
Now, these passengers gave neighbors a massive headache by repeatedly blasting the horn at 5 o'clock in the morning. Until the cops showed up.
That is so irritating, sis. What's the scoops?
Absolutely. Let's take a look at this.
I don't know how
Okay, when police arrived, they discovered that the culprits were actually two bears.
What?
Two black bears that had somehow gotten themselves into the vehicle, locked themselves inside the SUV, and couldn't find their way out, but somehow they found the horn. And they started leaning on the horn to try and get somebody to let them out, I think.
How did
Maybe they just like the sound of the horn.
How did they do? I mean, like they opened the doors,
right? So
and then they shut the doors. Wow.
I guess the person who owned that SUV didn't lock their doors and had food in it. And bears have an incredibly, strong sense of smell, right? So they went in, door shut behind them, they grind all the food, and they turn around and they say, hey, I don't can get out.
How I get out?
How I get out? That's okay. We just go lean on this till somebody come get us.
I mean, if they hadn't, honked the horn and did whatever they did, and they was like blasting the horn.
They was leaning.
It wasn't just like, the Hawaii kind horn, beep, beep, we let people in, or, you know what I mean?
Hi, auntie.
Yeah,
No,
this
it
was like
wasn't that.
one blast horn, and they would have been stuck in there for a long time. Wow, it is a trip.
Now, the bears were unharmed and released after police successfully unlocked the vehicle.
All right, what's the scoop with you? I want to throw it over to you with this, that I think that's a cute story about the bears. What about the Tylenol news yesterday and the vaccinations? We definitely want to hear from you.
Yes. Let us know by sending an email at islandlifelive@kitv.com or post a comment directly to this video on our YouTube page. Just search out KITV. Easy to find.